Hello everyone, this is David Larson from Fitness Technology Services. Today I'm going to do a video on trying to find squeaky noises. But before I actually get started on that, I want to thank everybody for their support and all the questions and everything I get off of YouTube. I also would like to put a little drive out for some subscriptions, please. So, kind of said that now, we're kind of going to go into the video, and this video is going to be how to troubleshoot and find squeaky noises. I get this call a lot. It's a pretty common call. Usually only happens on machines that fold up. Never happens on machines that don't fold because the bolts really don't come loose. Alright? So first thing I do when a customer tells me this is I go to it and I start jumping on it. Very lightly. Hear that squeak? So I jump on it very lightly like that, not to put a lot of pressure on it. But that shows me that it squeaks. Alright? So the next thing I do is I fold the machine. Use my flashlight. Alright, like so. Most people think squeaky noises come from here and here. They really do not. What happens is rust gets in between these spots right here and causes the squeaky noise. Now, for me, I like to use either white lithium grease if you want to use a canned grease, white lithium grease in a tube, and my favorite is Super Lube clear gel, just because I don't like to make things messy. So that's really the only reason for that. Alright, so we're going to put those here. I also have my little tie wrap with me right here. And the tools that I will need, just some basic wrenches, nothing big to it. And so here's what you're going to do. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to slightly loosen this latch up. And you're going to kind of look for anything that looks a little loose on it. See, there's no noise coming from in between here. Alright, so that's just a common mistake. That usually doesn't cause a noise. Now, if there's a lot of play inside of here, you can go ahead and lube that up a little bit, but that usually doesn't cause a noise. So a little spray there just to show you. It's not really the cause of it. The cause usually is either here or here on the other side. So really what you want to do is you want to take just a 19 millimeter ratchet. You could probably just get away with an adjustable. Doesn't matter too much. And you want to loosen this bolt up a little bit. Alright? Never take the bolt out unless you're super strong and can hold that machine up, which I am not. So for most people, what I would recommend is a little bit of lubricant here, a little bit of lubricant here, and a little bit of lubricant right here on the edge, so that when the bolt goes back in place, it physically pulls the lubricant into the frame. The squeak is not coming really from these two. This is a plastic washer inside of here, and there's no reason for that to squeak. The squeak is actually coming from where the bolt goes through into the metal. So if you lubricate it here, when you tighten it back up, it'll suck the lubricant into it. If you lubricate it here, when you tighten it back up, it'll suck the lubricant into this. Now, how I really prefer to do it, and it's more difficult, and you're more than welcome to use the spray lubricant for that, is what I do. Take a little lubricant right here, just like that. Take that right here, force that down, kind of run it all around like this. And the reason why I'm lubricating that bolt is because when it gets sucked back in, it will pull the lubricant into that frame. Alright, so a little separation right there. Now, of course, if you really want to take care of it, put a little more lubricant than what I'm using. But I'm going to do other things with this video, and I hate getting messy, so I don't want to get it messy. Alright. So we're going to take that, and we're going to spin this around. So I'm going to rub it around that bolt. You can get a good view of that. Rubbing it around that bolt, okay? Now, just to give it a little extra, I'm going to knock that bolt out so that I have a little bit more space right here. So I'm going to get some lubricant right inside of there. And it's a little messy when you use the spray stuff. Then I'm always in a customer's house, so, you know, I don't want to be getting on their floors and stuff. Alright, take that like that. Then we're going to put a little on the bottom right there. Squeeze that in there just like that. You don't have to get everywhere, because when you turn the bolt, it will self-thread the lubricant into the frame. Again, you're trying to get lubricant in between this and in between that. These spots are just the easiest to get to. You could remove this bolt and lubricate the whole thing, but I'm afraid to do that. So I've never done that, and I've fixed this thing probably 1,000 times over the years. All right. So you also can have a tendency to get a little squeak in this. Not too much. You can do the same thing. You can use a little white lithium right here. You could use a little bit of silicone up and through there, but it doesn't usually happen from this. This is a hydraulic arm, kind of just to help you fold it, like in the back of a hatchback truck. All right. So we're just going to go over here, tighten this bad boy up. As you can see, and see all the lubricant as it squeezes out. See that right there? So you automatically have lubricant on these two metal pieces. It's the lubricant on the part that's going through where the nut meets the bolt that is a little bit harder to get to. All right? And that's up to you on removing that bad boy. I'm an old guy. I don't do that. So you do the same thing over to this side. See, that's kind of loose right there. Put a little lubricant on the inside and outside. I'm not going to do that again. I never, ever, ever take that bolt out. I've never once taken that bolt out, and I've been doing this for 23 years. So I'm going to leave that option up to you. So again, a little lubricant here, a little lubricant there, a lot of lubricant on these. You see it, you even got a little messy, and a lot of lubricant on that. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to test that. We come up here. Okay. So there's no play in anything whatsoever. It shouldn't be squeaking. All right. So your next most common point, got to have the machine down. So that's going to take this part over here. Now, I don't really design these. I don't know why, but this particular screw is at an angle, and it's hard to get to. What's really, you need a shorter screwdriver for this. You have to remove this screw here. You have to remove this screw here, and there's another screw back here. So after you do that, you just lift this up. And that's that. That's how I do that. All right. So now we're going to do the exact same thing to this bolt right here. All right. So we're going to open this bad boy up. Now this one I'm even more concerned about, because this is a carriage bolt. On the inside of this over here, that bolt is actually square. So it would take a little more work to get it back inside of there. So I don't do that. What I do, I just tap it out just enough so I got space right here. Give you a little bit more. All right. So come over here and I give you a little light. See if you can see that. Come over here with the camera. So can you see that pretty good? Nice and dry. See, it really doesn't have a problem between, but if rust gets here, let me see if we can get a little bit more out for you on that. Oh, that's plenty. So if rust gets inside of here, between, again, the frame piece and the bolt, that's what causes the noise. That's what your squeak's usually from. It usually is not from this, but this is the easiest way of getting lubricant in there. I don't pop this all the way out so the square doesn't meet up with the hole. I just tap it just enough so that it kind of lines up right there. All right. So give a good view on that. Now we're going to go back to the way I do it. Again, could use another kind of grease. You could probably get away with spraying it. So for me, what I like to do is get at an angle where I can see it. See that little bit of square right there? That's kind of where you want to get the grease. So you're getting the grease down inside that square. On this side, this side. Now this doesn't rotate, so you have to do all four sides. This is what's called the carriage bolt. 1, 2, 3, and the back side right there, 4. All right. So lots of grease in between those spots right there. I'm still going to, because of who I am, put grease inside of here. All right. This may also be added to one of my maintenance videos, but this is actually what I do if you were to call me out for squeaky noises. So same thing, this bolt doesn't turn because it's squared on the outside. So I use this. I use that washer to spin the grease around, all right? I'm gonna go over here like this. I'm gonna go down in here. I'm gonna get on the bottom of that, all right? Then I'm gonna take this washer, push it over, do the same thing to the inside. Put a little grease. Here's a little light. Go all the way around it, upside, left of it. I waste that. Get down inside of there like that. Come over here like this. All right. And once again, the same thing. I'm going to push this over to the other side. It's going to be a little harder now because it's got grease on it. All right. And then we're going to spin it. See it spinning like that because I want to rotate that grease around that bolt because that bolt does not turn. It's squared on the other end. All right. So we'll put the nut back on like this. Get back where you can see it again. Probably don't need that, but and you'll see that it will just kind of suck itself up. See? See if I can give a good visual on that. And see it's starting to squirt out. It's like when you put grease fitting, you don't want it to really pop out too much, but just a little bit. There you go, see that? You see that right there, rising up right there? So that's what makes a difference to that. That way you know that's completely pressed in. All right, so this bolt can go pretty tight. Doesn't really move. That's why it's squared off like that. So let's turn this off. All right, let's put this annoying thing down. All right. But rust gets in between there because it comes down through here, and that's what causes your squeaky noise on this sole F85, F80, F63, really any folding sole treadmill, really any folding treadmill out there. So let's see what this sounds like. So that's much better. Much better. So that's the way that I recommend getting rid of, or at least starting to troubleshoot some of your squeaky noises. If you get a specific problem beyond that, give me a call at 410-286-5566 and maybe I can walk you through something. You can always email us. You'll find our email all over the place on Facebook. There's a Gmail right there. Give me a like on YouTube. Hopefully this video was informative to you. The next thing I'm going to have up is a maintenance video. Going to be kind of similar to that because that's part of what I do on my maintenance, but I'll also include some lubing and amping. Thank you very much and have a good day, and I hope this helps.